Today's gonna be great because we're gonna be adding an extra 100 horsepower to our BRZ. We recently added a JDL turbo kit, which gets this car up to about 300 horsepower to the wheel, but that's just not enough. How we plan to achieve an extra 100 horsepower out of this car is by adding a flex fuel kit. This is a flex fuel sensor. It's gonna measure our ethanol content and scale boost accordingly.
We gotta add a DW fuel pump and 700cc injectors so that we can get more fuel to the engine.
Calvin's already done the liberty of taking everything apart for us, and we're gonna start at the fuel pump. The fuel pump sits in the gas reservoir, and this is what's responsible for delivering fuel to the engine. It's crazy how small this little guy is. 340 LPH at 40 PSI. And if you guys are not familiar, this BRZ is actually our current giveaway car. So if you want a chance to win this 400 horsepower wide body turbo BRZ, all you have to do is go to thehundredcompany.com, and every $1 you spend will get you one entry towards winning this car. We just added a bunch of new stuff to the website, so there's options for everybody. While Calvin is disassembling the drop in, I'm gonna go ahead and swap over our new DW700 injectors. These are a little bit different from factory, so it comes with a little jumper harness to make the same connection point as the OEM ones. They're also a little bit shorter. Here's a stock one, and here are the DW ones, but shouldn't be a problem. They still fit into the side of the manifold and have a good fit. So when we have the fuel rail assembly on top, we should have no problems with it. We're also gonna be sure to apply grease to the O-rings when we seat them into the fuel rail, just like that, very easy. So you pull out the stock one, like so. Put that aside. We're gonna get the new one. Try some grisate, AKA grease. That's what grisate means in Italian. Did you know that, Calv?
I do.
That's how you say grease in Italian is grisate?
Oh, no.
Let's put on our jumper harness. Now that the injectors are in, we're gonna go ahead and install them. Super easy, just plug it back in like so. We might need to get a second
set of hands in there?
No, we don't need that.
Oh, okay.
I just installed the other side of the fuel rail. I have the jumper harness all hooked up. Now this is done and ready to go back together. Now that the injectors are in, I'm gonna go ahead and start mounting our flex fuel sensor. Now this is really cool because they already have pre-made spots, so we're just gonna throw that in to the strut brace tower location. And then we're also gonna mount this, I don't know if this is like a little like, I don't want to call it mini ECU, but this is part of the adapter harness that we're going to be running so that the ethanol content can work with the factory ECU. So I'm going to mount that right here as well. Keep everything nice and tidy. Actually, after looking at this location, it gets pretty cluttered right here. So I'm actually going to relocate this. I'm going to put it off the inside of the fender right here. I think that will just be a little bit cleaner and look a little bit nicer. Gonna have to make sure that all the wires fit, but I think we'll be just fine. So I'm actually just gonna put it here. All right, so we have all the fuel lines done. It looks kind of like a mess right now, but I'm gonna wire tuck these and make these look good. But we pretty much have our new supplied fuel hoses that connect our fuel pressure sensor. There's a bridge that's all plugged in. It's all rerouted. This kit actually comes with an oil pressure sensor as well. And because we're already using the top galley feed for our oil feed, right here, there's an alternative place that we can do. That is this little guy right here. So I'm gonna install the oil pressure sensor, and we already have a pin out for it, or a provision for it, to be able to plug that in. And then this new flex fuel kit from CSG has a way to electronically control boost. So we're gonna install a new wideband. So we're gonna install a new boost controller and chuck this in and put our in-tank back in and go for a first startup and then start tuning.
I have a mask on because there's gasoline in here, and that equals brain cells. So I'm putting the fuel pump and all subsequent pieces in the tank.
Nice work, Pep.
Thanks, mate.
Fuel pump in, new oil pressure sensor in. Once Calvin has that ready, we're gonna prime the system, make sure none of our fuel is leaking, and then we'll start tuning. All right, it's story time. It's a quick story, it's a good story. Anthony got bed bugs.
All right, well.
Don't believe me? Here's the clip.
Oh, it's so bad.
One day he strolled into the office, his legs were littered in bug bites. It was disgusting, so I reached out over to our partners at Helix Sleep and I said, boys, Twan really needs a new mattress. Let's hook him up with one. Helix Sleep is the best, and they said, Tej, of course we'll send him out a mattress. So I had Anthony sit down and fill out the quiz online so he could decide what bed was best suited for him. That's the thing, Helix Sleep, you're not gonna go to a store and pick out a mattress. It's all done online and it ships to your front door. So a few days later, the bed showed up and Twan dragged out his bug-infested mattress that he should never have been sleeping on. And he probably has had it for the past 10 years, which I always tell you guys,
If you've had a mattress for years, get rid of it. It's disgusting. Do you want to end up like Anthony with his bug bites on his legs? No, you don't. That's why Helix Sleep saved the day. He ended up getting paired with the Helix Sunset mattress, and it got delivered to his house in a big box. And all he had to do was drag it up the 2 flights of stairs, bring it up, cut it open, let it inflate over a couple hours. His bed was ready to rip.
Oh yeah, that's good.
And best part, the bed was suited for him. Twan, testimonial. Do you love your bed?
I love it. And check out my legs. No bites.
Now, if you're like, well, what if I don't love it? No worries, because Helix will let you sleep on the mattress for 100 nights to decide if you like it or not. And they have a 10-year warranty plan, so if you end up getting bed bugs in your bed, that's an option. And they have financeable payment options, so if you need it, they're there for you. Helix has saved me in my sleep. They've also saved Twan, and they're ready to save you guys. All you have to do is go to helixsleep.com/TJ Hunt, and you can receive 20% off of your mattress. It's a great deal. You want legs like Twan? I didn't think so. So head over, click the links down below, get 20% off. Thank you so much to Helix Sleep for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get back to it.
All right, it's the next morning, and we have sent the files off to Zach, and he rewrote the new files. We just uploaded it, which means we're essentially ready to throw E85 in the car and give it a start and data log the idle and send it back. So we're gonna be using Sunoco E85 race fuel, which what is really cool about this is that it is straight E85. In all my past years, whenever I need E85, I just use pump E85. And actually in California, pump E85 is actually closer to about E82, which is still ethanol, but it's not as pure and you don't get all the benefits that you would if it was E85. In other places in the nation, E85 from pumps can be even E77, which is a little bit lower. What's awesome about the Sunoco fuel is that it is straight pure E85, so you get maximum gains out of it, and it's just a better fuel.
And it's blue.
And yeah, it literally has like a blue tint to it, which is actually pretty sick. So I'm excited. I've like made the decision to start using race fuel on all of the cars that use E85, just for the purpose that they are going to deliver us better results, more consistent fuel. And when you actually buy it in the drums and get them shipped, it's not terribly more expensive than going to a pump and doing it yourself. And you get to eliminate all the times you have to go to the gas station and keep filling them up, and you can just store it yourself. So super hyped on that. And it smells like race fuel. You smell that and you're like, that smells a little bit sweeter than normal. Must be race fuel. So I'm excited for this. All right, now we're gonna start the car and see if everything is good, see if anything leaks, see if Calvin's fuel pump in the back worked, which I have great trust in my boy. Let's find out. Give her a start, bud. Hey,
We're getting fuel.
reading fuel. Fuel sending unit working just as it should. Sick. So like I said, we're gonna data log this, send the file off, get a revision, and then re-upload it, and we should be ready for a drive and see how much power it actually makes on top. And as we were waiting for the tune to get its revision, Dylan got this thing all set and ready for this weekend. As you guys know in the last video, we were going out for a competition tomorrow for our last Pro-Am event. We made a few more changes, and we're gonna load up the trailer because tonight, boys, we're going on a little road trip. All right, well, slight random problem.
It's oil.
Just let the car idle for a little bit. We were putting it in the trailer and we noticed a bunch of white smoke coming from the exhaust and a little bit of smoke coming from the bottom of the downpipe. I think I can see, let's get a flashlight. I think like the bottom of that flex pipe, it looks, I think, a little wet. It shouldn't be that smoky. And we either have a problem and need to assess it now, and we're supposed to leave like very, very soon. I don't know, it's hard to talk straight because I'm so trying to rack my brain right now. Why is the smoke coming from down low? There's a bunch of oil blow by right now, and we don't know why, you guys. I can like hear it. The only thing that I can think of, you guys, that would be giving us this much like oil in the exhaust is that we've like potentially done, which we took the turbo. We didn't even really take the turbo off. We just added a new fitting, didn't change the exhaust. We just adjusted the cooling setup. That maybe the engine's way overfilled with oil. Maybe we accidentally put too much in. That doesn't make sense because our engine dipstick is only showing half. This is definitely not a problem. We want to be just finding out right as we're loading the car. I didn't really film it as the car was running, but it was like a rotary car. So look, Dill, here you go.
Where's it at?
So we have two sides. We have one side that's like a half inch, almost an inch above the dot, but then you go to this side and it's the,
Wipe it and give me one more.
yeah. Well, so that side looks like that, but then that side will show half. But it kind of drizzles all the way up to here.
I confirmed at least that that baffle is leaking. It's so much.
Okay, the other theory we just had is we just switched our catch can breathers to these filters rather than dump hoses. And when we did that, they came with a check valve ball that sits underneath. So a ball sits in there and the pressure only goes one way. The ball stops and reduces flow a certain way, if that makes sense. And we had these sitting sideways and Dylan had the idea, well, maybe if we're using these vents sideways, the ball can get stuck in a track and doesn't allow it to vent. And we tested that theory with blowing into one of the filters and it deemed true.
Also, sorry to interrupt, but if it were creating pressure, right? It would pressurize and blow the check ball out, even if it weren't sideways. Us removing the check ball, which is sick that they have the option to remove it. I removed the circlip, I removed the check ball, I could breathe through it. Because when he was running it and I popped the indicator,
The oil feed check.
his oil pressure dropped and the smoke dissipated a little bit. So I think what might be happening, you want to take it over? Sorry.
Yeah, so we think maybe is what happening is that we were building up so much pressure in the head and the crank and everything because there was something to vent to. So in return, the oil had nowhere to go, so it was just burning it off, which is what all that oil was. So rather than it not being too overfilled on oil, it just had nowhere to go. It had nowhere to breathe. The pressure was just burning it out. So when he took out the oil dipstick on the catch can, I did notice about 5 to 10 difference in our PSI of oil pressure. Don't know if it's related, but now that we just removed the check ball, it now is completely to atmosphere. And when we checked the oil level just now, it was lower than what it was when we first started filming this debacle, which means we would be burning a lot of oil. So kind of the opposite theory, but a different take. So I'm gonna start right now and we'll see if it A, smokes as much, and B, has a better oil pressure at idle. So
All right, give her out.
already better. Okay, we're still at a 102 oil pressure.
No more smoke.
Yeah, I'm not seeing smoke up here either. Oil pressure is starting to touch the 90s now, which is better. I want to get this thing to operating coolant temperature, just because I know we don't have an oil coolant temp. But it looks like it's starting to drop a little bit. So I'll let it run for a little bit and we'll check it again.
My butthole is tight.
My butthole is tight too.
God, dude. But figured it out.
Way better than before. All right, Calvin just loaded up the new tune while we were, whoa, Cal, that is a serious little seat job there. Calvin has loaded up the new tune, and currently as it sits, we have one more revision that is just gonna make it a little bit better, but we are currently at about 410 horsepower. There's another JDL car that has the exact same setup as us that was on the dyno that made 420 to the wheels with same injector, same fuel pump, same turbo, same everything. So we're at about 410 right now based on all the work that was done on another car. So let's go see how this feels. The last time I drove a BRZ at this exact horsepower range this is a major throwback, when I had Miley on the Edelbrock supercharger kit with the short pulley. That car made 420 wheel, and I'm telling you, it was probably, honestly, the best setup as far as like horsepower wise. Like, it was just perfect. It was fast and wasn't too out of control and just felt gnarly. So let's go see how this feels. Traction control off. First gear at 4,000 RPM, we should be like right where we reach peak boost. Oh my God! Holy shit! Wow! Oh wow! That is crazy! Oh my God! I gotta do that again. We do it with the windows down, if you guys can hear it more. Dude, just blew the tires off of first gear. Just completely roasted it. Let's do it again.
Woo! Oh my God, she is spiced up. Oh, I can just smell the ethanol. Oh my God. So right now at this horsepower level, it's about 400 horsepower. This is like, compared to the Gen 1 BRZ, when you get to that 350 horsepower level on a stock engine, that's like as far as you really want to go on that engine setup before it's kind of risky. Meaning it's before just you're asking to bend a rod or break something. And on the Gen 2, the FA24, 400's a really good safe spot. We could crank this thing up to 475, 500, and maybe go a whole year plus on beating the snot out of it. But because this is a giveaway car, it's gonna be one of your guys' car, I wanna give away a super reliable setup that you're not gonna need to worry about anything. You could just go and drive it and not worry about it. But the fact to think that there is more in this setup than there is right now, are you kidding me? Like, to put this in perspective, the last giveaway was the Mark IV Supra. That car made 600 horsepower and weighed, man, a lot more. It weighed probably another like 600 to 800 pounds more than this car. And that made close to about 180 more horsepower than this setup. So, although it's a lower number, the car is so light, you get way more per horsepower that you're making. And now that we're making more boost, the car's blow-off valve and turbo surge is much louder than it was when we were on 91. And it just sounds like a little beast. Because it's still just a little four-banger, but now it's spiced up. The biggest thing that I notice is the low end in this car is so much more alive. Where typically on the NA setup, you know, you're only making 190 horsepower. So you really suffer on the low end and the beginning of mid-range on the setup, where you really just have to be 6,000, 7,000 to really get a punch. But the car really delivers from low end, which on a day-to-day driving aspect, it makes the car so much more enjoyable, because when you want power, it's right at your foot. There's no delay. I'll try to give you guys a second gear viewing here. Oh my God. It's fast. It's fast. That's, oh man, these cars are so sick. Like, this has the same, if not a little more horsepower than a stock LS3 and a C6 Corvette, and weighs way less. It's just a rocket ship. I hate to say this out loud, but it drives better than Miley does. Because Miley is making so much horsepower, the turbo is rather laggy down low, and this car is just, I learned a lot of things when we were building Miley, and I feel like on this car it was just the right amount to be the most enjoyable car on the street, and accurately say that we have done that. So you've been tuning it, but you haven't really driven it yet.
I haven't driven it. My butt has been responsible for tuning this boy. TJ's usually the butt tuner.
What?
Actually, you know what's a fun fact? This was the car that I learned to drive stick on.
Yeah, it was.
So I've driven this car bone stock before it even had the wide body kit. And then with just the turbo.
Yeah.
And then now.
You've driven every iteration.
Every iteration.
Oh, you even spun it even. Oh, I love this car!
Oh,
Dude,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dude, the top end keeps going.
Yeah, it keeps going.
I thought you were gonna like hit redline at like 6,000 RPM, and I glanced over and you literally had 2,000 more to
I
go.
had 2,000 more to go.
Oh, Dylan, you do that every time on that damn corner. bump in the middle of the
test
road.
the cars out, dude. Make sure they work.
Short shifted on that, but
You're
fast.
short shifting 1500 RPM early, and we'll rev out to like 83.
Yeah, all right, say less.
Okay, Antoine. Oh,
That's a cop.
sorry, officer. I
Sorry,
swear,
we weren't doing anything. We're not doing anything. Don't worry about me, cop. Don't worry.
This is a wonderful car.
I'm just so happy with
This
it.
is my favorite car. And it just loves it all. It just loves it.
Alright, let's see what she's got. It's very good.
Yeah.
It's very balanced.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, that's not slow at all.
When you grabbed 4 and
It
still
moves.
went, I'm like, okay, he's grabbing another gear now.
Hey man,
Yeah.
I really wanted to feel it, and that feels great. I'll be honest. Whoever wins this is gonna have a really fun car.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Wow.
It's awesome.
I really like this car.
I know.
I never thought I'd say that.
Yeah, Dylan was a low-key hater of the BRZ when we first got
I'm
it.
gonna be honest. I didn't like that chassis too much, but since I've been here, I've really grown to love a lot about it.
Yeah, it's a win for us, boys.
So you-
All right, I got a surprise guest on this one. I got Ian driving it. He's here this week helping us with something that you guys will see literally in like the next couple of videos. But Ian, big Subaru guy.
Big Subaru guy.
You like
dude.
Subarus, don't you?
Dude, I love them. They're not the most power, but they're fun. They're great for cost for the performance.
Damn! Ian!
That puts a smile on it.
I
All the
literally
way
just said in the
through
last clip, this car can't spin second. Ian just bounces first, quick shift to second, keeps him spinning. That was sick. I didn't think it could do that.
This thing's great.
Yeah! Damn, that surprised
Roll-in
me.
response is good, dude.
Yeah, dude, that
And it hauls all the way to red
yeah,
line.
it's super consistent. That's from like the passenger seat. It's like super good.
Yeah. Dude, this thing's great. Yeah, dude. That's nice.
Man, I was fired up on the 1-2 you did.
Yeah, dude, that was fun.
That actually caught me off guard. All right, we are on the road heading out to the track tonight so we can drop our trailer. And we have about 3.5 hours left to go. And it is now game 5 of the LA versus Padres baseball game. And Anthony and I are literally placing
Stressing right now.
our underdog bets as we speak.
Let's go Dodgers!
Whoa.
We're not Team Dodger in here.
Why do you say that?
Because we're San Diego.
I
If-
am, but
If the
you guys-
Dodgers beat San Diego, I'm not going to cheer for the Dodgers to
Yeah,
go
but-
through, but I'm going to watch them.
Off camera, the entire last 20 minutes, you've been like, yo, dude, I can't wait for the Dodgers to win. So
They're trying to set me up, and it's not going to work.
Now you're just
You're saying
being
something
fake to the
about how
camera.
they have the greatest baseball players ever.
Yeah, so I just don't know why.
That is true.
Go Padres.
Yeah, liar.
All right, Twan was able to get the game on his laptop, so Dylan, don't watch the TV.
What?
Now we're thinking we're just gonna put it right in front of Dylan's face.
Oh, this is a good setup here. A cop watches this video.
He goes, what's the score?
Go Padres! Dodgers suck ass!
He just goes like that.
All right, we just got to the hotel room. I'm a sleepy boy, and we only have 5 hours to sleep before we have to wake up really early tomorrow and get to the track. And like I told you guys earlier in this video, this is a pretty important competition because if we do well enough, we might bring home a Formula D license, which would just be pretty cool. Be a pretty cool accolade to say that we got. So wish me luck. If we do well, I'll probably post a video on the main channel. If we don't do well, then I'll probably just post it on the Clips channel. So if you want the updates, follow the Clips channel if it doesn't ever hit the main. But thank you guys for watching. Super stoked on the BRZ. Really stoked to pick one of you guys, or really stoked for someone to get picked.
and we'll fly you out and you'll take delivery of the BRZ. All you have to do is visit thehuntcompany.com. Every $1 you spend will get you 1 entry towards that car. So good luck, you guys. See you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out and keep moving forward.